I hear nothing.
Thank you. All right, I'd like to go ahead and open the public hearing section of the Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting for Tuesday, April 17th, 2018 at this time. On the public hearing, it will be section 405.390, site plan process for ADM 94. Jack Hannock, if you wouldn't mind coming to the podium, speaking on that, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. This is a approval request for the revision of section 405.390 site plan process, ADM 94. Motion for approval passed 7-0 with 3 absent at the April 5th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting with no additional conditions. I'd like to ask to make part of the public hearing record the municipal code by reference, the public hearing notice, and my planning and zoning report.
Duly noted.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, anybody who would like to speak just on the public hearing section of the site plan process for ADM 94, please come forward to the podium, state your name, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Not seeing anyone, we'll go ahead and bring the public hearing section to a close and open the regular Board of Alderman meeting for Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting for April 17th, 2018. At this time, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance with us. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the next item will be the consent agenda.
Regular meeting minutes from April 3rd of 2018, executive session minutes from April 3rd of 2018, approval to promote Bobby Austin to the recreation coordinator position effective April 16th, 2018 at $14 an hour, and the approval to hire Darren Reams as a cashier at $12 an hour starting April 9th.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Alderman Ock, seconded by Alderman Deloy. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz is absent. Alderman Schulharvey.
Yes.
Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
And Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with 1 absent. By the way, folks, just for your information, we were contacted by Alderman Schultz, and he will be here later on in the meeting. All right, next item will be the introduction of new employees. Brad?
Mayor and Board, I'd like to introduce Zachary Reese, grounds and maintenance personnel, new grounds and maintenance personnel.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you, Zach.
Welcome aboard.
And I'd like to introduce Dana Velasca, our new finance manager. Welcome aboard.
Welcome,
Nice to
Dana.
meet you, Dana.
And I would like to introduce Darren Reams as our new cashier.
How you doing, Dana? Nice to meet you. Welcome aboard, guys. I believe that's all for them, correct? All right. Next is hearing from the public. If you have anything you'd like to speak about, we just ask that you come to the podium, state your name, and then you can state your business, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Not see anybody, we'll move on. Next item will be the Board of Alderman comments. That's pretty easy. As much as sometimes we try and keep it light, guys, from my comments, I just want to go ahead and note, we don't always get to recognize citizens that have passed away in our town, and some, one that really, I think, meant a lot to several of us on this board who worked with her or had the pleasure of just knowing her in life. Miss Teresa Scott passed away, and I just ask that you guys give us a moment of silence to remember her by. For some of you that don't know Teresa, she sat on the Board of Aldermen for, I don't even have the number of years she sat on the Board of Aldermen.
Most of Alderman Shore's tenure is there,
I believe so.
Oh, I think she was on at least 10 years, I would guess.
As well as planning and zoning. How many other boards was she involved in some way, shape, or form?
School board for probably longer than she was.
So she gave a lot for our community, and you know, she's going to be sadly missed, for sure. So, next item will be the committee meetings report. Ms. Alderman Miller.
The last meeting that the Downtown Association met, I happened to be in Branson. Wasn't able to make the meeting, but I did contact them when I got back, and they're still working on the June 23rd date for festival downtown. A lot of work to be done on that, a lot of work left to be done. They did have one additional item that they are planning on June the 1st on a Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. They're going to have a sip and stroll event downtown, and the idea is to introduce people to the new businesses downtown, basically, and try to draw some people down to stroll up and down the sidewalks. They'll meet at the winery place first, and I would think maybe sip. And,
Is that where the sip comes in?
That's where the sip comes in. And then stroll down Main Street, and hopefully it draws some new people down. Lets them know that they are active and they are pursuing the revitalization of downtown. It's a long process, but I commend them for coming up with some ideas that are a little unique.
I like to commend them for not coming up with golden strolls. It's good to be a sip and stroll.
Yeah.
So what, can you repeat the date, Greg?
June 1st on a Friday night. So that's basically the items that were passed on to me and where they are in the process. We'll meet with them the first Monday night of each month, and I will not be in Branson next month, so I'll meet with them and give you a report.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Alderman Costello on the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, mostly what the Chamber of Commerce is doing, one of the last we met and spoke, is trying to get their feet under them in regard to running a business called the License Bureau. And they're finding that there's some challenges there. They're really making a big effort, as most businesses do, to put on a friendly face, maybe a friendlier face, in dealing with the public. They want everyone to know that they're there to help and that they really are interested in helping, and sometimes it's not what we say but how we say it. So they're really working on trying to come across to the public that they want your business there, and they'll do everything they can to take care of you. It doesn't mean they don't have rules and regulations that they have to go by that are required by Department of Motor Vehicle, but they are working very diligently to get that done. They did a complete repaint. If you're not aware, the License Bureau is going to be in the same location it's been in for some number of years, but they've done a complete repaint, recarpet, and really gave it a facelift, so good. But they are finding there are a few pitfalls in managing the staff, so, or challenges, let's say.
Thank you. Next, we have the certification of election results. Any questions or comments on the certification? I'll entertain a motion to approve the certification of election results for the Alderman for the April 3rd, 2018 election.
So moved. Second.
Thought I was going to be left hanging there for a minute. Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Miller. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Costello?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Delloy?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0, one absent. Next will be the oath of office for newly elected officials.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I possess all the qualifications
I do solemnly swear that I possess all the qualifications
for the position of Alderman of the City of Warrenton,
for the position of Alderman of the City of Warrenton,
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the state of Missouri,
the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws of this state
provisions of all laws of the state,
affecting this city,
affecting the city,
and the code of ordinances of the City of Warrenton,
and the code of ordinances of the city of Warrenton.
and that I will faithfully do myself in office.
I will faithfully do myself in office. Thank you.
So for a few of you, you probably had that whole thing memorized. You didn't need any guidance, right?
Look like a deer in a headlight. Like always.
Up in that order. All right. Next, be election of board president. Will be open for nominations.
Mayor, I'd like to just briefly state that I think the board that I had the pleasure of serving with here, I don't think there's a member of the Board of Aldermen that isn't qualified to serve as board president, including Scott, who's not with us this evening. So then it really comes to a matter of those wanting to serve, and I will say that I received a call from one alderman over the weekend expressing an interest in serving. He's someone that certainly has all the qualifications, has the time, the availability, and the willingness to serve. And as you know, the board president primarily serves in your absence. This individual attends a large number of ribbon cuttings, generally all of them, and he also possesses the experience. He served as president of the ambulance district for I don't know how many years. So having said that, I would nominate Gary Miller as board president.
Second.
Right, motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Ock to nominate Gary Miller as the board president. Roll call vote, please.
On nominations, you don't need a second.
We don't.
No seconds needed.
We would actually
Make a motion.
ask for any other nominations or
Okay, any other, no,
to
I
close.
apologize then. I don't think we've ever done this before that I remember.
If there's no other nominations, you can, but I don't know if there's any other.
Any other nominations.
Is there any other nominations on there? Okay. So then,
Just call for a vote on the single nomination.
okay, so I'll call for a roll call vote on the single nomination.
Alderman Costello?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Delloy?
Yes.
And Alderman Shell Harvey.
Yes.
I'd like to point out that I was the president of the board for probably 10, 12 years while Greg was the mayor, and he didn't miss one meeting. I never once ran a meeting, just for the record.
That's why you didn't call, I guess.
Well,
I've only been on the board how many years?
Yeah,
And this guy's missed how many?
Yeah, exactly. I always wanted to give it to him. It's all yours, buddy. Gary Miller, you are now the new board president. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mike, for doing it
Yes.
for the time you did. Appreciate it, because I used and abused you, I guess, compared to Craig and Gary.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda will be the request for extension to build sidewalks at 1056 South Highway 47. The Orville and Dolores with it.
Good evening. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
I'm hanging in there, one day at a time. So, yeah, we had an extension for 6 months, and as you know, the weather has been horrible this past winter. It's so cold and then rainy and muddy, and we just had a lot of things going on. Mom and Dad moved back into the house, and they're all settled, but then they had some health issues, and we just didn't get the sidewalk done. They are supposed to, our contractor actually contacted us Monday, and they're planning on starting on it tomorrow or the next day, but there you go again, it's supposed to be 40-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow and 40 degrees, and, you know, is that really going to
Welcome to
happen?
Missouri.
So, yeah, so if we can at least get an extension for another 3 months, I expect it to happen before our deadline. Actually, I think our deadline is the 29th or something like that, so, but just in case it doesn't happen is what it amounts to.
I certainly don't have a problem with a 90-day extension. I do want to point out, just so we're clear on this for the future, that we really do need to have it done in this good weather. Because
Right.
if we went another 180 days,
Yeah.
we could be back into inclement weather
We're just,
again.
yeah, we've had a lot going on.
I know that.
My mom and dad had health issues this winter,
Sure.
and we just had a lot of different things going on. My husband passed away, and a lot of things going on.
I've heard. God bless you.
So with that being said, I would make a motion to request that we extend this sidewalk extension for another 90 days.
Second. Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey to extend the sidewalk, or the building of the sidewalks at 1056 South Highway 47 by 90 days. Roll call vote.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
And Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0 with 1 absent. Next on the agenda will be the request for extension on building permits for 1016 and 1018 Arlington Way by Barb and Dolores Omby. Good evening.
Due to some odd circumstances this year, we haven't got anything done. We would like to extend our permits. We are still planning on building. I need to know how long you will extend our permits for and when they would expire again.
Counselor, do you have a
I would ask,
suggestion
Jack,
for us there?
when we've had requests to extend the permits before, how long do we usually give?
It's actually the site planning conditional use is what they're extending.
Did we extend that for the one over in Brody?
We've extended them before to allow people to get going.
What would
We actually, yeah, the one actually in Warrior,
Yeah, what did we do
I think we gave 180 days.
extension?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think you could give 90 days. I think there's been ones we've given up to 180 days on for the site plan extension, so there is some precedent there for it. It's kind of with your discretion.
I spoke to both Dolores and Barb before the meeting, and my interest in looking at this was whether they own the property, and they do.
We do, yes.
So it's clear that they have an interest in making this happen. My concern, to be very honest with you, and as I was with them, is that with the housing boom that we're seeing right now, is that they probably have a tougher time finding a builder than they would
To
have.
be done in that length of time, yes.
Would have been this last period. So, having said that, I don't think our purpose is to to, keep people coming back, we'd like to, if your intention is to still build, I
Yes.
think we'd be wise on extending it for 180 days, and so they don't have to come back.
Real question is there anybody opposed to 180 days? Want to make a motion, Board?
Sure. Move that we extend the building permits for 1016 and 1018 Arlington Way by Barb Owenby and Dolores Owenby for 180 days. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
and Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Motion passes for a 180-day extension.
If we don't have a builder or anything going by then, do I need to come back again
Now, I'm going to tell you it's probably something to reference to Jack.
to Jack? Okay, all right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0 with one absent. Next, we'll hear from Director of Operations and Finance Officer Terry Thorne.
My first item for you this evening is to request a change to the food truck ordinance. If you'll recall, back when we put this ordinance in place, we really had just looked at ordinances from other places so that we could get something into our code and try to pull something off of that. We since have had a few food vendors come into the city, and their response has been that our cost for a license for a food truck vendor is significantly higher than most places. So we've told them that we would take a look, which we did. In your Dropbox file, you can see the result of the survey that was done, and truly it ranges from a low of $20 a year to a high of $50 a day. So it's kind of all over the place. It does appear that perhaps our 1-year fee was a little bit on the high side. So I'm recommending that we lower the mobile food vendor business license to be $50 for a 1-year license and $25 for a 6-month license.
The only question I had on this was, some of these well, first of all, we don't want to get into what Washington's doing, charging a per person additional, because then we're responsible for monitoring that. But
Right.
a number of these places have conditional use permits, and I don't think we need to tie them up. But is there rules about where you can park a truck, what zone, what area? And I assume that's why they have a conditional use thing in some of the other cities, so they can control where the vehicles go. Is there any thinking on that, or where are they allowed to park now?
They are limited to commercial zones with approval of the business owner. So at the time that we put the original ordinance in place, that's part of what we tried to address, is to make sure we were keeping them in the commercial area of town as opposed to residential.
Okay.
So that is a part of the ordinance that will remain, is limiting where they can actually set up. And limited also to how they have to be set up in conjunction with the street. So they have to have their service window, if you will, cannot be onto the public right-of-way of a street, so it's not impeding traffic and people aren't standing out in an unsafe situation. So we tried to address all of those things initially in the ordinance.
I seen one of the food trucks parked in front of a Legacy Pharmacy a week or so ago. And my first thought was, you're next door to a pizza place with emos. Maybe I might not be too happy for them being there, but I guess if the adjoining businesses say it's okay, I guess there's no, it's up to them, but.
Well, they have to have approval from the property owner to be there.
And the property
So-
owner in that case is Mr. Cook, who owns Demos.
Okay.
Yeah. So as
I had
long
seen
as
it
they
actually
have,
parked across the street at the
I'd seen-
next
yeah, I'd
Realty parking lot, but I've not seen it on the.
Yeah, it was in front of,
It's Chick Lumber.
I mean, Mr. Cook owns that corner. So.
But they're not allowed to park in public right away. It has to be on
Parking lot.
a business's property that gives them permission.
Yes.
So are you just looking for us to push forward for Chris to write? Yeah, I'm sorry.
There's an ordinance later on.
Okay.
If you choose to approve this, there's an ordinance later on in the evening that would change it to these recommended rates.
Terry, what would they have to do? One of the issues, and Brad will go along with this, one of the issues we've had is having food available at the concerts in the park. What would they have to do in order to be there? Will that require a change, or?
We probably would need to just do some kind of specialized permit for that, since it is public property. I don't see any issue with it. They'd still have to have a license to operate in the city, just like anyone else. But certainly, we could.
Would it require an additional cost, though, for them to set up?
No, it would just require the special permission to be on the public property.
Because it's in, they've got area that they could park in at the north end of the Circle Drive, so. But that being the case, if somebody like that's available, we don't have to try and find. I know one year that cheerleaders did it, and then the next year they opted out not to, so this might solve the problems for that.
Sure. I would think that we would just want something in writing from someone associated with concerts in the park saying that this is a vendor that they're supporting, so it's not just anyone pulling up there and doing it, but I don't think it would require anything further than that, but just getting their licensing.
Okay, Brad, would you want that to come from the park board as such, or you, or?
I think it's a city park. I mean, I would think that whatever you all would feel comfortable with. I think they would add to our concert if we have that. Yeah. I mean, if somebody wanted to do it, because in years past, like you say, we had that one food truck for a while there. He was there, but then they quit. So, but yeah, I think.
Mike, what time do the concerts start? When do they start?
They're 7 to 9:30, but people usually start showing up anywhere from 6:30.
When do the concerts begin?
The concert begins at 7 to 9:30.
No, I meant what's the date?
Oh, the date. May. Well, we have one May 11th coming up.
Okay.
First one, and then it's the second Friday of every month, May through August.
Are the food trucks allowed to sell alcohol?
No.
No. So they don't have, even if they had a permit, let's say it was a regular restaurant who happened to have a food truck, anyway, that would prohibit them from selling alcohol as that.
Yeah, they could get a one-day, I wanted to say it's called a caterers, but I'm not, but there is a one-day liquor license that they can obtain to do it on a site other than their normal operational location. So they certainly could if they had another liquor license.
But for the time, in the past, we've gotten, what would you call it, a permit from the city to allow consumption of alcohol at the parks, but people bring their own wine and whatever, so, and that's worked out pretty good. But if they wanted, they'd have to get a state liquor license and everything to do that. So, okay, that's all I have.
Actually, good question.
And then my other thing for you is to remind you that this Saturday is the citywide cleanup day. And the new addition this year is the ability to bring the large items and dispose of them at no charge. So couches and chairs and mattresses and all of those things that in the past we've not been able to accept. Brandy's been able to arrange that with Meridian. And there'll be some big roll-offs out there to accommodate those things. So it's a good chance to get all those things out of the garage and under the carport and out of the backyard and all that good stuff and bring it and dispose of it on Saturday.
Here?
Yes.
And what time?
7 to noon. 7 to noon.
7 to noon.
Donuts are served at 6:30.
What's that?
Donuts are served at 6:30.
Are you serving them?
No, Brandy. I'll wake up at 6.
Glad you let her know that.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Usually, what's the weather supposed to be like for Saturday?
Last
I
year.
heard that yesterday. It's gonna be cool, but it's gonna be dry.
Par for the
Actually,
course.
yeah, they actually
Last year
showed
it was
rain, but I
cold.
think that's
Yeah.
been taken out now. So.
Every year.
It's gonna be windy, so hang on to your.
Every year it's like that. It's some kind of form of weather. It's not the best, and it's usually cold. Every year. We need to change the date, I think.
Just change the weather.
Well, I've tried. Maybe Chief has
Fred?
something to do with that. Is that all?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Assistant Director of Operations, Brandy Walt.
I have for you tonight the renewal of the health insurance, the dental, and the life insurance. The healthcare, we have a renewal rate of 7.2% increase in premiums for this year. It was a 9% last year, so we think that's really good. It would increase our rate $36,425 annually for the health insurance side. On the dental insurance, and that's to keep our benefits the same, United Healthcare, everything. On the dental side, the increase for our current provider is through Aetna, which would put it at 14.8%, and that would be a $3,977 increase to the city. UHC did submit a dental quote for dental, which would only give us the same benefits, but it would increase it by 1.2%, which would only give the city a $327 increase.
Excellent.
So our recommendation is to keep the United Healthcare for the health insurance and take that increase, and then change the dental over to United Healthcare as well. The life and vision insurance will not change this year. The rates are staying the same.
Is the dental portion of the city's insurance used a little, a lot, or?
It's used by quite a few people. I would say we probably have a 60% participation rate. And that, mind you, on the dental piece, the employee actually pays for that unless they only get employee only on their health insurance, then the city picks up a portion of it. Otherwise, if they get more than just a self-insured on the health insurance, then the employee's paying for it.
Do you know what the limit is on the dental? Is there a dollar limit on annually?
I believe there is, but I do not know that off the top of my head. I know it's a $1,500 for orthodontic care, but I don't know what the limit is for them.
A lot of times the limit of coverage on dental is
Yeah.
pretty small.
It's 1,500.
Is it 15?
1,500.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the recommendation from the Assistant Director of Operations for health, dental, and life insurance renewal.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Ock, seconded by Alderman Miller. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Delloy?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Costello?
Abstain?
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
And Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with one absent and one abstaining.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll hear from Zoning Officer and Building Commissioner Jack Caniff.
First thing I have is the monthly Building Department Code Enforcement Report. And in the first quarter of this year, we've already issued 13 single-family residential building permits, which is way ahead of schedule for the last few years.
It's the first time you said that with a smile.
Very exciting.
I like it when you say it with a smile, Jack. That's good.
There you
Makes
go.
me happy. Any questions on his report?
More to come.
Next item I have is an approval request for the Warren County Fair Association's 2018 special event permits, which include the Fun Horse Show, SEP 33, the Demo Derby, SEP 34, the Mud Run Dirt Drags, SCP 35, and Pride in Your Ride Truck Show, SCP 36. Motion for approval passed 6-0 with 3 absent and 1 abstention due to a business relationship at the April 5th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. And Mr. Owenby's here if you have any specific questions for him.
Any questions from Mr. Owenby?
Doing them all in one shot this year.
Trying to get everybody on the same track. Bring them in early in the year.
Good.
Well, we placed them all together as an effort to streamline, like I've been asked to do everything we
There
can
you
to help
go.
make this through. So instead of voting on 4 of them individually, we checked with City Attorney Graville, and he said it was okay to list them as long as they was all listed together to make it quicker.
Good deal. Makes sense.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the following special event permits for the Warren County Fair Association, the Fun Horse Show, SCP-33, Demo Derby, SCP-34, Mud Run Dirt Drags, SCP-35, Pride in Your Ride Truck Show, SCP-36.
So moved. Second?
Motion made by Alderman Shell Harvey, seconded by Alderman Costello. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Costello?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Delloy?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with 1 absent.
Next item is an approval request for the Warrenton Music Boosters Special Event Permit SCP-37. It's the Mud Bog, be held at the County Fairgrounds on May the 5th, 2018. Motion for approval passed 7-0 with 3 absent at the April 5th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. And Jennifer Bergmeyer is here if you have any specific questions for her.
Any questions for
We'll
me?
make a motion to approve it if there's no questions.
Second?
Motion made by Alderman Shell Harvey, seconded by Alderman Costello. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Costello?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Delloy?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0, 1 absent.
No instruments, right? on Mud Bog?
Instruments?
No instruments?
Play the national anthem of Puerto
But not during, right?
Rico.
Next item is a approval request for the revision of section 405.390, site plan process, ADM 94. And the motion for approval passed 7-0 with 3 absent at the April 5th, 2018 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Could you just kind of give us a highlight of what that is? And I read it, but it's kind of nice to just hear another version.
It's in response to the board's direction to help streamline minor changes to site plans that have been previously approved, to allow the zoning officer with approval from Terry to approve minor site plan revisions.
I think probably for the public to know, this is part of the process we're using as a board to try to make things easier for consumers who come to the city, to empower staff to make decisions and not require time delays by coming back to the zoning board or city council repeatedly, that we feel like the staff is competent to make some of those minor changes. So it's done, I think, to make this a more friendly city for people to come in and develop and build it.
I agree. Any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve the amendment to section 405.390, site plan process ADM-94.
So moved. Second.
Who did the first one? Miller. Oh, thank you. Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Delloy. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Delloy?
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey?
Yes.
Alderman Costello?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0, 1 absent.
Last item I have is a request for a extension in time to record the approved subdivision record plat for the subdivision known as Highway 47 Dollar General Edition. On April 11th, 2018, a written request was filed to request an extension to the 60-day requirement for the recording of the Highway 47 Dollar General Edition record plat. And They're asking that you can allow more time to get it recorded.
So this is the Capital Growth, whatever the last name is that the company?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the extension for recording of Highway 47 General Edition record plat.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with one absent.
That's it, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Maintenance and Grounds Director, Brad Buzikrews.
Good evening. We have my April or March report. Been doing a lot of maintenance, getting ready for the mowing season. Been doing a few other projects. Just a couple other things. The dog fence out at the new park will be started tomorrow. We got it all laid out today, and All-Star Fence will start installing the poles and everything tomorrow. Get that underway. Ball season starts next week. Soccer's been going. Ball season starts, so complex will be running again. And Tom's already had a couple games out there and has already been cutting grass, so he's well on his way to doing his thing. Doing something a little different this year for Arbor Day. Talked with the Tree City Board and the Park Board and come to the thing where we were going to hand out leaflets over here Saturday. We are going to plant a tree in the park in Binkley Park in memory of Teresa Scott.
Excellent.
We thought that would, for all she did for the community and stuff, and we wanted to plant some trees. Well, they thought this would be a very fitting time and something, that we would be a good to do. So she ran in the park all the time, and or the bunch that she ran with. So we're gonna contact Roland, and we'll get that tree ordered, and hopefully hopefully this week if I can get him to do it, and we'll get that taken care of.
So that ultimately have a marker?
Yeah, we'll have a plaque just like we do for all the tree remembrance trees.
Correct.
So we'll get that up there. That's all I have on that part. If you all have any questions.
No, just a comment more than a question. I think it's excellent that you guys came up with that. I think it's excellent that you came up with that.
Thank you.
It's going to be a larger tree too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we're going to do a little bit bigger one, about a 4-inch caliper one or so. We'll see.
Could you give us any other updates on what's going on at the new park, other than the fencing? It's just moving along?
Secret.
It's a secret?
No,
I'm going to have to jump the fence and go there and see it again?
No, the water line is installed down to the building down there. We're getting ready to start once they got out of our way, now we're going in with the conduit for Ameren and the street lights. We'll start that whole process. We think we got roughly about 12,000 feet of conduit we have to put in, so we're going to be down there for a while. The disc golf course is all cut out. Brent Bolam is going to take his drone and do a flyover and see if he can get a actual overview of where the actual trails are at. So he's working on that. Everything else is going along good. The building's coming along great. Talked to them the other day. Everything seems to be on schedule and maybe even a little bit ahead of schedule. So doing good.
It's funny you asked that. The other night I was driving by and I saw lights on the inside at night. Pretty impressive. I almost wanted to go back there.
Well, with all the rain we've had, you wonder about all these projects between the interchange and where Schnucks is going in and the park. We all this stuff going on, and it's been so wet that it's kind of
it's wet, and that's why it's kind of held us down with a few projects that we were doing. But we did get the fence in. The fence is up between the homeowners. So we've got some stuff there, so,
Sure
but yeah,
they
once
make-
we start with the conduit, we'll probably be out there for a good month.
I'm sure that made a few people happy about the fence.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Looks like at the Dollar General location, the footprint of their building has been staked out.
Yep. Same schnucks.
Yeah, they were surveying at Snooks on the footprint of the Snooks building today, so.
Any other questions for Brad?
I have one more,
You got it.
the bid tabs for the lights for out at the new park. Recommend we go with St. Charles Electric for a cost of $32,880.
Any questions for him on that?
That must mean we have a little cushion in our budget. Budget at 100,000.
Oh, I didn't see that out of, I'll be my guy, I would spend it all.
Let's renegotiate the frisbee golf courses over here.
Yeah, this is just the first part of it. We've got wire and a few other things that are.
We have a lighted frisbee golf course.
We may have a lighted frisbee golf course, that's awesome.
I'll entertain a motion to award the park lights bid to St. Charles Electric in the amount of $32,880, the best bid.
So moved.
Second.
You guys are making me nervous tonight.
Get everybody your number.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Deloy. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0 with 1 absent.
That's all I have, thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Next, we'll hear from Public Works Director Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. First item I have is my monthly report. We had 2 water leaks. Crew's been working on Wolf Road. They did some asphalt removal and rocking and getting ready to pave that. Some culvert replacement on Steinhagen and some off of Dryden Street. We put some curb and gutter in. Had 2 sewer calls, 2 on private, 1 on the city main. And Saturday, we had a pretty good water leak by the mall. I call it the mall still, I'm sorry.
Shops at Warren.
Shops at Warrington. But we had a big one there, so. And the one on Needing House was a hidden one that we didn't know about. That's the reason why the water consumption's up, because it was running down towards the highway and running through the ditch, so we finally pinpointed that.
Any questions on the monthly report?
Next item I have is a change order for cold grading for the amount of $6,100. We had to set 2 new manholes and do some survey staking. That's out there by the interchange, close to the roundabout. So I need approval for that.
Any questions on that?
Motion to approve.
We'll,
Is that a bill?
Oops.
Is it in a bill?
6,100.
no, this is a motion.
That's
right
the
here.
motion, okay.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve the change order number 3 for Kolb Grading LLC for the West Interchange Sanitary Sewer Extension in the amount of $6,100. I think you,
So moved.
Alderman Costello made the first motion.
Second.
Alderman Ock made the second. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0 with 1 absent.
Next item I have is ordinance for our fire hydrant ordinance. We noticed that it wasn't spelled out in code, the distance between the fire hydrants. So we put that in the code. And it does meet DNR specs. And we did review it with the fire chief. So what it means is that for every 500 feet in a residential, there needs to be a fire hydrant placed, and every 300 feet in a commercial or industrial development, a fire hydrant needs to be placed. And we didn't have that in code anywhere, so that's what this ordinance is for.
And this will, is this going to be a bill later on? So just for information, this will be a bill later on.
That's all I have.
Okay. Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from the Chief of Police, Larry Ellert.
Good evening. The first thing I have is we just received a surprise inspection on our animal shelter from the Department of Agriculture, which we passed with a 100%.
Excellent.
The inspector also gave our animal control a lot of props, saying that the shelter had really been turned around. So,
Good.
ACO Klingler continues to do a very good job at what she does. The second thing I have is, I believe you received in your packets a letter from Kalia for our official announcement that we received our waiver of our fee. And the market value of this waiver is $11,450. So this is the official announcement that we received roundabout the announcement a couple weeks ago.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is.
It's good.
Real big deal.
It reduces our liability for the cost down to about $3,600.
Good job.
Good deal.
Because I know,
That was a team effort, not just me.
well, I'll say the behind the scenes, though, there was a lot of effort put into doing this.
Yes, yes, there was.
It's not always put out there, but I know you guys really worked hard at doing that.
Oh, and the upside of it is our fine legal department has finished scrutinizing the agreements, and
We hire a new one?
I teed that one up for him.
He's been working that joke on me all since
Oh,
about
okay.
6 o'clock.
That's not long enough.
We're ready to sign, so as soon as we sign that, we'll have 3 years to complete.
With the strides you've been making, I don't think it'll take 3. But
We've done a lot of work getting ready to start. And then the last item I have is the monthly report.
any questions on the monthly report?
Nope.
Well, I think you may get out of here scot-free on this one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bills to ordinance. So I will entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 16-18.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Sharvey.
Bill number 16-18, an ordinance amending Appendix B, water main supply piping, valve, and fittings, subsection water main of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri regarding fire hydrants.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 16-18.
So
Nope.
moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Sharvey, seconded by Alderman Miller.
Bill number 16-18, an ordinance amending Appendix B, water main supply piping, valves, and fittings, subsection water main of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri regarding fire hydrants.
Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey.
Yes.
Bill passes 5-0 with 1 absent. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 17-18.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Ock.
Bill number 17-18, an ordinance amending section 605.020 titled Fee of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, changing the fee for the mobile food vendor permit.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 17-18.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey.
Bill number 17-18, an ordinance amending section 605.020 titled Fee of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, changing the fee for a mobile food vendor permit.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey.
Yes.
Alderman Costello.
Yes.
Bill passes 5-0 with 1 absent. entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 18-18.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Shelby.
Bill number 18-18, an ordinance amending section 405.390 subsection of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri regarding administrative site plan approval.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 18-18.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Shelby.
Bill number 18-18, an ordinance amending section 405.390 subsection of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri regarding administrative site plan approval.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Bill passes 5-0 with one absent. I will entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 19-18.
So moved.
Second.
Which one? You guys did at the same time.
Doesn't matter.
Shell Harvey was first and Ock was the second.
Okay, we'll, motion made by Alderman Shelby, seconded by Alderman Ock.
Bill number 19-18, an ordinance of the city of Warrenton, Missouri establishing the city administrator as an officer of the city.
I'll entertain a second reading and passage of bill number 19-18.
So moved.
Second.
That's right. We'll go with the motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Miller.
Alderman Ock.
No, why not?
I'm gonna get this down.
That was Mike.
Well, then we'll go with Shell Harvey. Seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey.
We should
Bill number-
install lights.
I'm telling you.
Just hit the
First
light.
one. Who gets it first?
Bill number 19-18, an ordinance of the city of Warrenton, Missouri establishing the city administrator as an officer of the city.
They made fun of me because I couldn't hear. So
Bad, I need to get one. Can I borrow yours? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0 with one absent. I guess bill passes 5-0 with one absent. Entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 20-18.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Deloy.
Bill number 20-18, an ordinance appointing Terry Thorne as the city administrator of the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading and passage of bill number 20-18.
Second. First. It's been a long night.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Ock, seconded by Alderman Shell Harvey.
Just want to make sure you're paying attention there.
Bill number 20-18, an ordinance appointing Terry Thorne as the city administrator of the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Shell Harvey,
Yes.
Alderman Costello,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Bill passes 5-0 with one absent.
I'm just grateful tonight she hasn't started going backwards in the count.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say, before we call for adjournment, I'm going to say, this is by no means trying to be critiquing any past board, but it's nice to be on a board and you can laugh and everybody doesn't feel like we're being unprofessional, but it's good just to be able to joke with each other and nobody take offense to it. I greatly appreciate that out of this board. With that, we are at the adjournment. I will entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Costello, seconded by Alderman Shelby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That is majority. We are so adjourned.